in Venezuela, they directly call you by your name, right? Because they feel like we used to be more like warm people, like really, we welcome everyone. So I think that's why. But that's the only thing that I see might change from a cultural point of view.
And do you think that Mexicans are really? Because I think that Mexicans aren't really direct because they, for example, they can't say no, and for
Yeah,
me, it's
well,
really.
yeah, that's one of the things that you have to like, and you'll find some like people like that everywhere also, right? Maybe
Mhm,
it's a common denominator here.
mhm.
They
And
are
in
more polite.
Venezuela,
Yeah,
you can say no, for example.
I think everyone you could say no. It's gonna depends on the corporate environment, right?
Mhm.
Like you as a person and as a professional, you should be able to say no as long as you say it they say it the right way and you present your a justification, right? Like you could say, a like I could ask you to do something and you could say, well, I have this. What is more important? Should I do this and then that? Should I do that and then this? I cannot do both at the same time. It's because I'm gonna fail at something, right?
Okay.
You should be able to say that
But
everywhere,
this is
right?
really direct. I don't think that Mexicans can do it.
Well, Venezuela. Well, I think Venezuela you'll find people. You could find both kind of people.
Mhm.
I think in the streets, like if you ask me about my personal experience, yeah, like a lot of like if you are in a restaurant, you say, do you have Diet Coke, and they don't have, they're gonna say yes, and then they're gonna bring you a normal Coke, and you're gonna say I asked for a Diet Coke, and they're gonna say, oh, we didn't have, like why didn't you say that at the first place, right? So yeah, that I agree with that from a personal point of view, and you see that a lot of things. Like I say about the Mexican service is that it's really polite, it's really friendly, it's not really effective.
Yeah.
That's the way I usually do it. Say it because yeah, they treat you well, they treat you really polite, they give you your place, they listen to you, but then the results doesn't reflect the process that you just went through, right? And that's I think that's an improvement opportunity that you may have. And I think that's because of they are so polite.
Yeah.
And Venezuela, that's a good point because in Venezuela we are not. It's not that they are not polite.
Mhm.
It's that they are polite in a different way. They are more direct. They're gonna say, yeah, no, we don't have that. Yeah, so yeah, in that.
And this was one of my questions because I wanted to ask if the work like efficient here, if the work like you do it is efficient because for example for me like the Mexican work how they do it is not really efficient because for
Okay.
example when you go to the shop you see like 6 or 7 shop assistants they
Yeah.
don't do anything but they seems like okay I'm really important here.
Right. Yeah, well, again, like from a professional point of view, I think Herbalife we have a really defined, standardized way of doing things. So I think we are really efficient on the way that we do things. The one limitations that we have might be related to systems and stuff like that, which are require a financial investment. But from a personal point of view, I agree. Sometimes I see that you have one person in the door checking everything that you just bought, and the person, the cashier, just checked. So yeah, couldn't it could be more efficient
Okay.
or
But
effective.
it's different here in
Yeah.
okay.
Well, yeah, Herbalife being an American country and we have implement standard processes and
Okay.
stuff, I think we are. Like, I don't know, because I don't see the Mexican operation. Like, I don't see the way that they do things in the sales centers and stuff. I don't know, maybe specific things, but I would expect that we have the same processes worldwide, right? We are in 90 countries now. So,
From your experience, which you think is the easiest culture to work with?
well, it it depends. I think I put some examples in the paper that you sent, but so far, I think US is one of the easiest. They are really like talk direct to the point, and Venezuelan people as well.
Maybe don't you have the problems with punctuality here?
With
Because
what?
with punctuality, for example, when you have the meeting and everybody comes late, because for Mexican time is not really too much like important.
Important
Yeah.
time.
Like I don't know because I don't get to work directly with a lot of Mexican people because I oversee like I most of my meetings are in the phone or maybe Skype, right? But Mexico, I don't know, like so what I saw.
Maybe they are not late for a Skype interview or something.
Well, sometimes like Colombia are the ones that are like the ones that are late all the time. Colombia, maybe Venezuela, yeah. But I don't have like a specific country that I could say, oh, that's impossible to work with them. I think it's a perception, which is sometimes it's really difficult to change. But for example, what I've seen here personally is that maybe I said to a couple of like I remember one time my wife talked to her friend and they said like, oh, we'll see you at the movies tonight and we'll go see this movie, and then we get to the movies, we bought our tickets and they didn't show. So we said like, oh, what happened, right? And then she sent a message, oh, well, she didn't answer until maybe a week later. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Then I had something else, right? Stuff like that. And we have seen that a lot of times. Like in Venezuela, it's like, I'll see you on Thursday night for dinner. Okay. Then on Wednesday, okay, are we up to tomorrow?
Okay, that's correct.
And then Thursday morning, okay, I'll see you tonight, right? So we
Yeah,
like to
yeah.
confirm. And I
That's
think
it.
it's not the same here. Personally, that's personally, right?
Right.
Not in the like the job environment. I think, and Herbalife, I think we are really we like to have our meetings, and we use like the Outlook calendar, and we have like all set up. So I haven't seen that a lot.
So you said that technology is really important for your work now because you use like Skype
Yeah,
and telephone
yeah,
and this.
yeah.
Do you think that working with people through this technology, like the systems, it's more difficult than to work in like face by face?
I think it depends on the people as well. Yeah, I think I like technology because it connects every one of us at the same time. It doesn't matter where you are, and I think that's helpful. Like I could be talking right now with someone from Argentina and someone from
But
US.
there is a
and-
time difference.
Yeah,
So maybe
yeah, but
it's at night.
yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like if I was in Argentina, like if I'm here and I try to do something in Spain, I'm not gonna get it done physically, right?
Mhm.
So the technology allow us to
Okay.
yeah, to cover
Facilitate,
that,
yeah.
to facilitate and cover that lack of possibilities to work physically, right? But at the same time, I'm gonna definitely get it done faster if I have you beside me than if I have you something else. Right? If I have to train you, it's gonna be easier for me to do it physically than through maybe a Skype, right? And sometimes, yeah, I think it helps to for the day-to-day work, but definitely like for example, my job requires me to go at least once a month to somewhere in some of the countries that I oversee, right? Because it's necessary to be there, so you can meet the people, they can meet you, and yeah, the communication through emails and phone is completely different from the communication that you get.
All right. So you say that if the things are really important, then you have to go there and face by face
Yeah.
solve it. But if it's not very important, then you can solve it through this.
Yeah, that's why I think the day to day, like over like supervising and like if you had only transactional people in the countries, like they were just booking or recording some data, I don't think it's gonna be necessary to go there, right? Because they're just like, let's say that they take this, they put this number, and that's all they do, right? So that would be all technology based, right? But if you have like management people that they have personality issues and they have maybe people issues, they are losing people, they don't have a good attitude, then it's not gonna be the same if you talk to them by the phone that if you go
Yeah.
there and visit and try to see what is going on, right? And the same if you talk to a person, like you see like the corporate, like you have the corporal language and that and the facial expressions that is gonna help you understand if he's being maybe mad or happy
Yeah.
or sad or something like that, right? Through email, it's just words, right? You could feel something the
Can
way they
express
write
emotions.
sometimes. Yeah, you could express some emotions, but yeah, it's not the same as in person. So I think depending on the job, yeah, it's gonna be more helpful or not, but definitely technology helps.
I have many questions.
You have no more questions. So I just wanted to ask you if you think that multicultural teams or you work like is your work more independent or in team?
Well, definitely in team, yeah. Even though I like my role doesn't depend on someone else. I think if I don't have a team,
Mhm.
and if the team don't cooperate with the main goal, I'm not gonna get it done. So yeah.
So, and do you think that the international environment brings more distinctive, for example, ideas or more?
Well, it definitely bring different experience because like I could be talking to someone here in Guadalajara, maybe a 50-year old guy that have 20 years more of experience than me, and I could have different ideas because of the situation in Venezuela is so much different, right? So yeah, I think yeah, definitely helps
Okay.
because yeah, the experience are different.
And did you have any problems in working like in multicultural team? For example, and how did you solve the problem which you had?
Yeah, I think related to cultural, I don't think I've had. I've maybe I don't know, like I could have the same issues uh, even in a group of people from the same country, right? So I think it's more the same, like maybe management or attitude issues more than cultural issues. So
Okay.
I don't see more issues like that because I work with a multicultural team, right? So
Okay.
yeah.
So you don't think that multicultural team has any like problems inside because of the culture?
Maybe if like I could imagine if I work with people from China or Asia and Europe and Latin America, maybe I would see something like that.
Okay.
But
But
because